Ready to rock? Awesome. I appreciate it. My name's Joey Brunner Jr. I came up from Colorado Springs. Yeah, nice. Drove up. It was cool. Billings was really nice. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure you guys felt the same way I did. Town kind of reminded me of like weed with seeds in it, you know? It was seemed a little bit cheaper than Denver, but I was really surprised when it was good. But I live down in Colorado Springs with my wife. We're actually in a non-traditional marriage. We still enjoy each other's company. She still finds me attractive, even though I prefer to swim with a shirt on. I actually make love with a shirt on as well. Get a little awkward too because she'll spend good money on some lingerie, and then I just kind of show up in my Winnie the Pooh outfit, shuffling. My poor dog's in the corner. Don't worry, this won't last long. But we have a good marriage. We get along pretty well. There was one thing that we tend to fight about, and it's just that she works with children. She's great with children, and I've tried to explain this to her. She'll walk up to a child at a sporting event and just start talking to him. She doesn't understand that I can't do that. If there's any parents in here, like, would you want me approaching your child at a sporting event and saying something like, "That's a pretty dress"? These are things I've heard my wife say, like, "How old are you? Is that an Elsa doll?" It doesn't work. I'll end up in jail. We do have one son, though. He's Gen Z. He moved out. He lives on his own. I like to mess with them because they're also anxious. So I'll just start texting him random things during the middle of the day. Like on a Wednesday, I'll be like, "Please call me, ... We need to talk, ... But I think one of my other fun, favorite things about Gen Z was that for a little while, all of their trends were just doing completely normal things without using their cell phones. They called it raw dogging. Back in my day, raw dogging was how you became pro-choice. Another universal fact about raw dogging is that everybody's mother has done it. At least once. But I think that the last Gen Z thing, and I'll leave them alone, I actually kind of want to stick up for them on this one because I think the Gen Z stare phenomenon is kind of BS. I believe anybody can do the Gen Z stare. You just need a couple simple things. You just need a 100 milligram edible, like a minimum wage job, and just somebody staring at you trying to figure out how to do the tap to pay. But no, honestly, I do, where was I? Oh yeah, sorry. The other thing with Gen Z, I forgot where it was. Oh, that is embarrassing. Oh, my other job, besides messing up comedy shows, is I'm a bartender. I actually really like bartending. It's one of the few customer service professions where you get to slowly poison the customers. They think it's their idea too. And I make pretty good money. It's like ExxonMobil. Ace, Oil Town. Okay, got it. But no, besides that, I had a different career altogether. Before I was a bartender, I actually sold drugs. It's actually completely different because drugs are solid and alcohol is liquid. Everybody knows that. But that came to an abrupt end when I sold drugs to a cop. Twice. Yeah, and then I ended up becoming a convicted felon. But being a felon is not all bad. There's some bright spots. It's actually incredibly easy to get out of destination weddings. But when I got my felony, though, I was a young man. I was in my early 20s. My life kind of spiraled out of control. Put on a ton of weight. I was in and out of court all the time. And I realized that if I didn't turn my life around and start making some better choices, that there was a really solid chance I could end up serving like 48 years in the White House. But no, honestly, politically, I'm an independent. I like to make fun of both sides equally. I think my favorite people to make fun of in politics are the people that say they don't pay attention to politics. They've always kind of reminded me of the people that start asking questions halfway through the movie. And it's like, Deborah, that 30 minutes in the talking part at the beginning, that was actually an election, and this is the world we all live in now, so thank you. But no, really, in my heart of hearts, I just want both sides to start working together again. I think Republicans, Democrats should really just come together and start crossing the aisle, like they used to do on that plane to that island. But no, the politics and everything, it's really been affecting my mental health. And it's actually one of my pet peeves when comedians kind of use their stage time to trauma dump and use it as therapy. It actually really bothers me a lot. My therapist thinks it might be an issue. But I was recently diagnosed with PTSD. PTSD is crazy because in the moment that your trauma is happening, your mind and body kind of meld and become one, and your mind tells your body, look, you got this, you're gonna get through this, everything's gonna be fine. But in like 6 months, you're gonna be at a child's birthday party at a Chuck E. Cheese, a balloon's gonna pop, and you're not gonna be invited back. But no, honestly, I think one of the things that mental health is crazy. I know the older generation, like my parents' generation, they're a little adverse to mental health services. I gotta think we gotta cut the boomers some slack on that, because you gotta understand that mental health services, especially in like the 60s, you know, if you went to go see a doctor for mental health, there was a good chance they were gonna drill 2 small holes in the front of their head, start fishing around in there with chopsticks like they're trying to get the last piece of shrimp out of a noodle bowl. It's called a frontal lobotomy, and the last one was actually performed in California in 1967. Yeah, right? I think another thing that the boomers get a bad rap for is people say that they did a really bad job raising my generation or us. And I think that's completely false, because I can say with absolute certainty that they did not raise us. I don't know what they were doing, but it was not rearing children. I had like a house key when I was 3, so. My mom's boomer. She's also a cat lady. I don't say that because she owned a lot of cats. I say that mostly because she just used to leave us home alone for like 3 days at a time with some tuna, saucer of milk. My dad also a boomer, but my dad was kind of my superhero. I know a lot of people like to say that their dad was a superhero, but my dad actually had a secret identity. During the week, he was like a mild-mannered accountant for the Air Force, but on the weekends, he would kind of pop out of the closet covered in glitter like he was ready to hit pride. Like, I didn't even figure it out until I was like 15 years old. Like, I thought everybody's dad had Playgirl magazines. Like, I was like dumb Lois Lane just trying to put the pieces together. But no, it actually was never an issue until the end of his life. When he was in hospice, he asked me to do a couple things for him that were a little awkward. The first one, he asked me to delete his porn collection. We're talking about a 65-year-old account, so these are files on a desktop computer, like meticulously labeled 2008 taxes.butts, like still images. The other thing he asked me to do that was awkward is he actually asked me, he didn't ask me, I had to do this. He had VA benefits and they weren't good. So I actually had to give my dad a suppository. And I won't act it out for you, but it was awful. In that moment, though, he kind of looked back at me and we locked eyes, and we both realized that this might be the last time a man is going to lovingly place something in his ass. All right. As I did more comedy and started traveling around and talking to other comics, I realized that a lot of comics start doing comedy after their parents passed, mostly their fathers. And then I started thinking, like, what if it was just like one last dad joke to get your kid to do comedy? And I was thinking, like, what that conversation was like. I think it was like kind of something like this. Be like, so, yes, Father, I need you to do something for me. Yes, Father, anything. I need you to perform stand-up comedy. All right, Dad, I'm not that funny. Yeah, I know, but I need you to do this. Okay, well, will I get rich? No. All right, will I gain the respect of my kid? Oh, absolutely not. All right, well, women love... Listen, I need you to do this because I have a bet going with the other dads in hospice. And if you don't perform stand-up comedy before their kids, I'm going to have to wear a ghost dress until the Rockies win the World Series. That's why I always do my full set, because you never know whose ghost parent is going to be in attendance. But that's my set for you guys. Listen, we have a... Appreciate it. We have a great lineup for you guys tonight.